Alright guys, FuntabulousArnel here. Before it gets too dark, it's actually dusk. And in the background, there is downtown Austin, Texas. I'm on the Congress Bridge. And everyone down there is about to go watch the bats that live underneath the bridge come out and feast. Yes, it's dinner time for them. But anyway, I wanted to jump on here and talk to you guys a little bit about where I started. Um, as some of you know, I am Arnel Solomon, aka FuntabulousArnel. I was born in the Philippines and lived there till I was about 6 years old. My grandparents actually took care of my brother and I. I have a younger brother who's about a year younger than I am. And my folks left for Copenhagen, Denmark, so they could work for one of the largest transportation companies in the world, Maersk, Maersk. And so, with that, they left us with our grandparents. Not sure the reason why, but our grandparents took care of my brother and I for about, I think, two years. I think they had a 3-year contract. My folks had a 3-year contract with Maersk to work for them. My dad was their personal chef. And then the last year they sent for us, and so we lived in Copenhagen with the Maersk family in their estate. And I would say that it was a very interesting experience, and living in a very prestigious estate, for a very well-known family. And fond memories there. So living in Copenhagen was very interesting in that it had its ups and it had its challenges. First of all, I did not know any word of Danish when I lived there. So I had to learn Danish, and I also did not know how to speak English. So I had to learn how to speak Danish and English when I moved to Copenhagen. And I was about, I don't know, I think almost 7 years old. Or maybe I was 7 years old. It was 1979. It was a long time ago. But I had a very cool, I would say cool upbringing there. I mean, there were some challenges. I will share life's challenges with you guys. Some very personal information about me. My upbringing there had its moments, and it wasn't all roses. There were some very dark moments. One of the darkest moments is finding my mother passed out on the bed because she had overdosed on sleeping pills. That probably was one of my lowest moments as a very young boy. I think I would say 10 years old or under 10 years old when that happened. I don't remember. Parts of me, I think, has blocked it, but I remember coming home and finding her passed out in the bed, and I see a bottle of sleeping pills empty on the floor, and I tried to wake her up, and she was unconscious. She didn't want to wake up, so I actually went to the neighbor's house, which was an apartment. We were living in an apartment of what they call flats there in Europe, and to go find help. And they were able to, and what the cool thing is there were 2 firefighters living next door. So they came over and helped. They called paramedics at that time. This part was still vague because I can't remember all the details, but I do remember them coming to help and her getting rushed to the emergency room. And that's pretty much all I remember about that. Some other memories was later on in my, I want to say older youth, I got in trouble because I was trying to impress this girl, and I ended up trying to steal a pair of sweater. I didn't know what was going on until it was too late. Like, I wanted to show up. I wanted to be part of this group, and it was a girl and 2 guys, I think. And we went. They they asked me to go with them to go shopping, right? Well, they started putting on clothes that were, that weren't theirs, that they snatched from the display and put it on, and I tried to do the same thing, but I am the one who got caught. So that was a very interesting memory for me, because my mother, so the cops came, I got taken to the police station, and then they took me home, and I had to answer for my actions. And seeing my mother in tears, and at that point she had been divorced and raising my brother and I by herself, and so it was a huge disappointment for her to find her oldest son doing something that was not something that you would be proud of, that I was proud of. So when that happened, I was like, yeah, screw this. I'm not going to impress anyone anymore. I'm not going to do that kind of stuff anymore. And I straightened up after that, and I never hung out with that group again. So yeah, for you young kids out there, for young boys trying to impress a girl, be careful what you do or you get suckered into doing. Is not worth it. So I learned my lesson at that point. I never did that again. So yeah, sometimes it takes a really drastic outcome for you to make the change, and I guess that's with most everyone, right? So that is a bit about let me share this too. So I had signed up to be a part of a Filipino folk dance company. So I learned how to dance Filipino folk dance, and there's some really cool memories there. I remember performing the tinikling, which is a dance where you hop between the bamboo sticks and try not to get your ankles caught. And I remember dancing for the Queen of Denmark, and that was an honor, and that was a really cool gig that we did. And I believe I think I was like 11 years old or younger, probably around that age, 10 or 11. But that must have been, that I would say is one of my proudest moments, being able to perform for the Queen of Denmark, and we had a great time. It was nerve-wracking, but we had a great time. And there's definitely a good memory of mine back in Copenhagen, Denmark. So I'm going to share all of this and publish it for now. There are more things that I want to share with you guys, but we'll save it for the next video. I hope you enjoyed this story about me living in Copenhagen, how it was, and that's a little bit about my younger youth before I came to the US, and that will be another story. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are having an amazing day wherever you are. Love, peace, and prosperity to all of you guys. So here you are. Here it is.